So I'm on my way to Annapolis right now in what could potentially be a historic day in the history of civil rights in this country, especially for the state, but for this country as well, in what is a movement to finally recognize same-sex couples as an actual marriage by the state, by the governing body. And so today I'm going to go testify to Annapolis on a bill that will do just that for the state of Maryland. And I am on my way. We'll see what happens. I have my testimony, and this is one of the days that I guess every once in a while you look forward to having as an elected official to actually make a difference for a large part of the community. So this is the Annapolis State House. Daryl is actually one of the people that's been on the forefront of this cause. He's the main lobbyist for Equality Maryland, the organization that's fighting for this bill. And I'm here in support of him, here in support of Equality Maryland, and of course the civil rights in general. And he's going to be helping me out document this as well.
Well, we could not be more pleased to have you here, Councilman Annapolis, your leadership in Prince George's County and throughout our great state.
This is for personal reasons.
I have to go all the way there.
No, you didn't. But I appreciate that. So this is what it's looking like. So where's the?
You can see the room. It's packed.
What time is the
It starts at 1, but I mean it might start a couple minutes late. I actually have to go and grab a couple. I gotta go grab a couple for Fox News. I'll be right back.
How
Okay.
are you? Annapolis. Good to see you.
Oh, how's it going?
How's everything going?
Good. What's going on?
Thanks for testifying.
No, of course.
Yeah, I'm still at Alexander and Cleaver, but Equality Maryland's one of our clients.
Okay, good.
Yeah.
Any idea how many elected officials are testifying anyway?
Not a ton, aside from senators and delegates. Like outside of the Maryland General Assembly, not a ton.
Yeah, that's what I was.
So you're going to be one of the first panels.
Okay.
So hopefully we'll get you out of here at a somewhat decent time.
No, that's fine. That's perfectly fine. So I'll be around here. So just let me know when I need to go inside.
Okay, awesome.
They said 1 o'clock, right? Okay.
So they'll start soon.
All right.
This is Delegate Doyle Neiman, who is one of the advocates. Unfortunately, one of the in years past, one of the few advocates for gay rights. But
we're growing in number, and we're going to win this year.
No, this is great. So I'm just documenting everything, Delegate. It's just this is really an exciting time, obviously, and
Delegate Neiman has really been on the forefront of one of the few elected officials at the State House, but it has been growing in numbers, and that's why we're here now. But he's been fighting ever since he's been here. This is your third term, right?
Third term, yes.
Okay, so we're hopeful that this will be. What exactly?
This is the year.
So what exactly is this committee?
It's in the committee. The committee votes on the Senate bill. Then it goes to the floor of the House, maybe next week.
Oh wow! So,
and then it's up to the getting the 71 votes to pass through the House.
So this could be a law essentially within the next 5 weeks.
Could be, yes.
Acceptance and then embracement, and they will not stop until they have shoved the homosexual lifestyle down the throats of every American. The gay lifestyle is not a healthy lifestyle. While I was in it, I became an addict to pornography. I had over 400 sexual partners. I could not control my behavior. It was only when I became a Christian when I got the power through Jesus Christ to do it. My personal please remember that shortly before the fall of the Greek, Persian, and Roman homosexuality was accepted into the public square. And shortly thereafter, these civilizations ceased to exist.
Yeah, I'm going to record you like.
So what I got is basically that just like the Roman Empire went to hell,
Yeah.
we're going to hell because of homosexuality.
Yeah.
And this is from a former homosexual.
Yeah. We put in quotes. I mean, you know,
This is,
if you want to be ex-gay, more power to you. I have no issue with it. Just don't deny us the, basic rights under the law.
This is actually becoming more entertaining than I really thought. I mean, the stuff, this is Jerry Springer type.
Yeah. Yeah. Welcome to it. It'll only get better. It's hard to listen to. I can't do it. I'm
Mr. Chairman, members of the committee, my name is Bill Henry. I'm the 4th District Councilman from Baltimore, and I bring greetings on behalf of my colleagues from the Baltimore City Council. I was going to take advantage of the fact that the opponents got a chance to speak before we testified to address some of their issues, but when it got into citing Anne Hesh and imploring you to do things more like they do in France, where, by the way, prosecution is legal and they have 7 political parties in their legislature, I decided maybe it would be best if I just stayed on topic. So, it's been said that there's more that unites us than divides us by many in this room. I would ask that you take this opportunity to make marriage one of the things that unites us and stop it from being one of the things that divides us. Before you today is House Bill 175. In your bill file, you should have a copy of the Baltimore City Council Resolution 08-0013R, in which the Baltimore City Council formally took a position supporting this bill. Ladies and gentlemen, supporting this legislation is the right thing to do. To those of you who have already agreed to be with us in this fight, I offer you my heartfelt thanks. To those of us who have not yet decided or have decided that they want to see the status quo continue, I ask you to consider the following. This bill may not be popular with some of your constituents. You may be personally uncomfortable with the issue itself, much less with the idea of openly and visibly supporting the vocal minorities whose rights will be restored by this legislation. Regardless, it is the right thing to do. And on behalf of the thousands of same-sex couples here in Maryland that are discriminated against every day, I ask you for your support. If you yourself are not in a same-sex relationship, perhaps it is easier for you to dismiss this issue as somebody else's problem. But the fact that even those of us not directly affected have coworkers, friends, family whose rights are being restricted, and if you don't think you do, it's only because evidently they don't think you can handle the truth. It's not my intention to embarrass any of you or spot you in front of those constituents of yours who disagree. I am making this particular ask honestly and candidly because I do not distinguish between this law and the law referred to previously banning couples of different races, such as my own parents, from marrying. I acknowledge that there are those who find it wrong and unnatural for same-sex couples to marry. Sadly, they are expressing the same sentiment as those 40 years ago who thought it similarly wrong and unnatural for blacks and whites to marry. Those sentiments were wrong then, and they are wrong today. My generation has benefited from an evolution of that thinking. My family and I in particular, my children and I would not be alive if your colleagues in the past had not had the courage to ignore the complaints of their conservative colleagues and constituents and do what is right. I ask you to honor their memory and support this bill. And I will make one allusion to Delegate Simmons' testimony and both my colleague Rochelle Ricky Spector, Dean of the Baltimore City Council, when I say that sometimes this just doesn't feel like America. We're treating people unequally here, and that's not what we do. And it's not supposed to be what we do, and I beg you to make the fix. Thank you.
Class of citizens, in respect of civil rights, all citizens are equal before the law. I ask you to channel him, to revisit the history that animated and gave rise to our party, and bring to everyone the fundamental right to life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness, even me. Thank you, members of the committee.
Mr.
Chair, members of the committee. For the record, Will Campos, Prince George's County Council Member, 2nd District, and although I'm not here officially on behalf of Prince George's County government, I am here as a representative with a large gay constituency in his district as well as in the county. I'm here in support of SB 116 and HB 175 for two very simple but yet powerful reasons. You have heard these arguments before, but the fact is that this argument, this following argument, is made because it is one of the four fundamental values that sent us on the way to becoming the United States of America. We hold these truths to be self-evident that all men are created equal. The very words of our Declaration of Independence that our forefathers wrote to later emphasize the inequality that they were experiencing at that time. The very document that set this country on its way to becoming a great independent nation in this world states that because we are in fact created equal, that equal treatment is due. Now, our forefathers certainly got the wording right, but I ask you, do you think the laws of the land then went on to exercise what they claimed was an evident truth? If your answer is yes, then there should not have been a need for the 15th and 19th Amendments in regard to suffrage. If your answer is yes, then the decades leading up to the Civil Rights Movement should only be remembered by the styles, the wars, and the music that impacted those generations. But if your answer is no, our country, our governments did not exercise this fundamental value of equality, why are we so sure that more than 200 years later, since the writing of this document, that marriage and government say on it is correct? The fact is that we did not get it right. We have not gotten it right. We have chosen to interpret what we believe is a marriage through the institution of faith, and not civil law, and not civil rights. The beauty of this country is that it has allowed us to implement this union between two loving humans, both through the church and through the state all along. We, however, as the governing body, have only chosen to accept one. Well, the second reason I ask you to support these bills is yet another basic fundamental value that makes this country so great, and you already heard this as well, the separation of church and state. We are seeing states in this union finally recognizing the separation, allowing a gay couple to achieve that very thing that our nation was established on, equality, and through equal treatment, the pursuit of happiness through marriage. Please, as my representatives to the great state of Maryland, I ask you to join the other parts of this country that have finally allowed this civil right to a group of people that have been marginalized unfairly. This has nothing to do with gay rights. This has everything to do with civil rights, and more importantly, human rights, that our very makeup of these United States have called out as self-evident in attaining. Please pass these bills. Thank you for your time.
More perfect union. Not far from this building, the central plaza of our state capitol holds a statue and the words of this same great man in homage to his vision. So, although the tradition at such hearings as these is to politely ask, to plead, to beg, to request very nicely, I come not to ask, but to...
All right, so we are done in Annapolis. It actually took 2 hours before I could actually testify. I had to hear 1 hour of testimony from the proponents, 1 hour from the opposition, and then I got to go once it was our turn up again. I think it went pretty well. We'll see how it goes. The committee still has several more hours of testimony to go, but it's going to be close, but I think we're actually be able to pull it off. So now on my way home.